So I've just finished the excellent Moonlocket by Peter Bunzl. Please excuse the cover, it's a little bit worn. It's been a hot few days and I'm guessing some of the text on the front has rubbed off with maybe some sweaty hands. This is a great book. It follows on from the wonderful Cogheart by Peter Bunzl, a book that I reviewed and enjoyed immensely a few months back. It follows on with the same characters. It centres around Robert, Lily and Malkin, and again it follows or centres around a world where there are mechanical human beings, mechanical animals, humans, and a whole wrench of different aspects to the story. It's set in Victorian times. It's set in Victorian times where there are airships, and it's an adventure story, an adventure book where Robert, Lily and Malkin essentially are trying to unravel a mystery. We found out a little bit about Robert's family in the first book, Cogheart, where his father dies and he doesn't really have any family left in the world as far as he knows. But in Moonlocket, things are slightly different. We go a bit deeper into his background and we find out that, in fact, his mother, Selena, is alive but has abandoned him when he's a baby. We're not quite sure why that's happened, but as the book sort of unravels and unfolds, we find out a little bit more detail. The book focuses around an escaped criminal, Jack Daw, Jack of Diamonds, who is an escapologist, a sort of trickster who has been sent to prison for the last 15 years for stealing the bloodstone diamond from the Queen. Jack has done this, and Jack has escaped from prison and is determined to get this diamond back. Now, what actually amazingly comes to light is that Jack Daw is the grandfather of Robert. There's that family link there, and there's lots of intertwining and sort of details unfolding as to why Robert's mother abandoned him, and there's links between that and her relationship with Jack Daw, who is her father. It's a really awesome book that combines aspects of sort of science, mathematics. There's lots of problem solving and code cracking in this book. There's loads of lovely messages about family and relationships and friendships and the importance of that. There's some really interesting insight into London and its history. There's some very insightful links to the royal family. I know it had me googling. They talked about Victoria's mourning dress that she wore after the passing of Albert. It had me googling that this morning and finding out a little bit more. It had just in addition to all of those things, a lovely plot which focused around the sort of unity of two great individuals in Robert and Lily, and how they could ensure that good prevailed over bad through their sort of challenge and their journey throughout the book. It leaves itself open certainly to a third book, and we know that Sky Chasers is coming out later in the year. We've seen the I believe it's called Sky Chasers, I might be wrong. We've seen the cover on online that Peter Bunzl has released recently, and I'm really excited for that. But this is again a really lovely book. It's quite weighty in its description. It is a book that I think would require more able readers to enjoy. It's a book that if I was sort of suggesting for a class read, I'd look at year 5, year 6 ideally, but it's a book that I know a couple of children in my year 4 class have enjoyed a lot recently, and I certainly wouldn't cap it for anyone at all. So I enjoyed it thoroughly. It is a book that took me a few days to read. It's been quite a busy time with the World Cup and end of the school year, but I really enjoyed Moonlocket by Peter Bunzl. As I say, cover's a bit worn, but it's a truly lovely book. I also mentioned on my Twitter a few lovely features of this book before I go. It's got a map of Brackenbridge, the town that they live in, which is really cool and really nice feature, which I know a few other books. I know Brightstorm's done that, I know Sky Song has done that, and a few others have. And I thought what was a lovely additional feature was right at the back. They had a sort of dictionary of curious words, they called it, which was just a really nice touch, which had plenty of vocabulary in the book that obviously stretched and perhaps made the readers quite inquisitive. We had words like Basal jets. I don't know if we did that. We talk about chronometer, we have the word escapologist, we have mechanimal, we have penny dreadful, working lad, zeppelin. There's loads of sort of words and insight there that the readers could tap into at the end of the book. So yeah, thank you for watching. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to go on to next. A Boy in a Tower in the Tower is arriving today. I've also got Beyond the Odyssey, which I'm itching to read, that's supposed to arrive tomorrow. But could be one of those, we'll see. But thank you for watching. As always, please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, and I'd love it if you hit subscribe. It's always nice to grow the channel. Cheers guys, have a nice weekend.